What's up, everyone? We are back today with a white map farming strategy. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's just jump into this one quickly. Now, this was a strong strategy before this league, but it's even stronger now because so many people are doing the magic find strategy that this strategy is less popular, yet still incredibly good. So things are worth even more because less people are running it. Now, keep in mind, any build can do this because we are running things on white maps, so your build does not have to be particularly strong. If you are struggling with this strategy, one, you're either lying, or your build is just, you winged it the entire way, and you might want to look up a guide or something to follow something that will fix it a little bit, because this should be incredibly easy. Now, this strategy is going to be focusing on essences, beasts, sometimes getting a improved trial, labyrinth trial in your maps, harvest. Did I mention that already? Yeah, and that's basically it. So for the Atlas tree, we're coming up here, getting the beast nodes that are very close to the beginning. There's also an essence node that is very close to the beginning. We're going to be getting for additional essence, working our way up and branching to the left and right. Taking the harvest nodes here. The harvest nodes are very powerful. I don't usually take bountiful harvest because I don't really care about the 200% increased experience, but if you have extra points, you're going to want to put a point into that. Going over here using stream of consciousness for some extra content, because we will not be using scarabs or any other fragments in the map device, so this is just a no-brainer when we are not juicing or using anything like that. Now, the map spray is self-explanatory. I like to get a lot of connected monster, and your map has a chance to drop a connected map. That is very good for map sustain, because I absolutely hate running out of maps. It is one of the worst feelings in Path of Exile, so we kind of knock that out by getting a bunch of these, even going down a little out of our way to grab a couple extra of them just to raise the chances of that. If you don't have as many points as this tree, can use, you can take some points out of these, lower your map sustain a little bit, but you should still be pretty fine. You make sure you go over here and grab the Trial of Glory, which is going to raise the chance for an improved labyrinth trial. It'll tell you on the portal if it's an improved one. If it's not an improved one, you can run it if you want, but I don't suggest it. Usually you just skip it and only run the ones that say, awards and improved offering to the goddess right there on the portal. These essence nodes are very strong because it does not matter what tier of map you run whatsoever. You can run tier 1, tier 16. The drops stay the same, so we take all of the essence nodes. And this one is the only one, Remnant of Corruption Essence Chance, that sometimes you want to be spec'd in and sometimes you don't want to be spec'd into it. You want to spec into this until you get a decent amount of Remnants of Corruption, and then you want to spec out of it, because if Essence is already corrupted, you cannot corrupt it and you miss the chance that it upgrades by corrupting it, but we will go over that when I do the map example. There's some more harvest nodes up here. We take all of the quantity nodes. I actually screwed up the tree a little bit. I don't want these points. There we go. And taking the quantity nodes around this circle, and then getting the quantity and rarity in the middle along with the harvest nodes. Go to the left, pick up some more beast stuff. You want the hunt for Krakian. It just raises the chance that the beasts are from the depths, and those have the Kraik monsters, which right now the Kraik Chimeral is very much so expensive. I think it's up to about 5 divine now per beast. Not to mention, we also take some nodes down here that make it so when you can create a copy of the beast. So obviously, if we copy something like that, it is very, very profitable. Another quick note: most people run tier 1 through 5 white maps to beast farm, because running higher tier maps adds a lot of the uncommon beasts to the drop pool, or I guess the spawn pool, you could say, and that is not good. It raises the chances of getting these when you run these at lower tier, so running these at white maps is actually an advantage. And lastly, we are taking the 7th gate node. As you've noticed, I also have all of the gateways allocated, so I can take advantage of the 7th gate node, because I am going to be using the harvest map device to force the harvest. If you don't want to spend the 12 chaos, or you're really low on currency, don't force harvest right away. You might want to spend some extra points on the chance for harvest to spawn. You could take some points out of connected map nodes, like these 2 points here, and put it into that. but I like forcing the harvest because on average you are going to get more than 12 chaos worth of that investment, just simply because life force is worth quite a bit right now. For the map, you want to hit G. We want to ping pong between fields and strand. Namely strand. Strand is the best one for this strategy in my opinion, and also it can be a low tier map. And fields is an okay layout. It's not the best, but it's not the end of the world. So you want to put a bunch of favored maps to strand and put a couple to fields, so you can ping pong in between them with your chance of monsters dropping a connected node. You will almost all the time, either get a strand or a fields map, and a lot of times they will duplicate also from the Atlas nodes that we have. To unlock these, to unlock the favorite slots, it tells you what you have to do. You don't need all of them. I'd say try and get like 5 or 6 of them to be safe, but the more is better. And the last one I don't have is I haven't completed the Feared Maven's Invitation. It's not really necessary, and I'd have to go quite a bit out of the way. Also take note, you do not need any of the watchstones for this strategy. In fact, you should take them all out for this strategy. For the maps, you want to run them ideally chiseled and rare because the quantity helps with the life force dropped. You can run these blue if your build is very, very new and you're really having a hard time, but I suggest doing the tried and true chiseling while they are white, so you get 5% per chisel, and then hitting it with an alchemy orb. Now, if it rolls a mod that your build cannot do, I suggest just scouring it and then using an orb of alchemy. Or if you have a bunch of currency and you are too lazy or you're running low on scourings or something like that, you can just use a chaos orb on it, although I don't suggest it, to re-roll it to something you can roll. But at this tier of map, it is very much so, the modifiers are not nearly as hard as when you start getting the higher tiers. So the 25% resist effective curses and stuff like that of your auras, that's not that big a deal, so you should be able to run these rare the vast majority of the time. Now we're going to put it in the map device. I am going to force harvest by paying the 12C, so highlight that, and I'm going to make sure Einhart is in here. You do this by making sure this is highlighted. Now if you don't have any Einhart missions, you probably do if you haven't been using them. They're very easy to get. Just run it normally and you will get them just naturally, not to mention from the Atlas nodes that we have that gives you a chance to grant an Einhart mission on completion. So I force harvest, I make sure Einhart is highlighted, and we are good to go. Now, when you first go in, if you want to do the leak mechanic, the Viridian Wildwood, you can. The harvest monsters especially can get juiced from them and drop more quantity, but it is not that big of a deal. I'm not going to go into it for this video. There's a million videos on the Viridian Wildwood, and one of the farming videos I did, I also go over the kind of TLDR on that, so you can check that out if you want. As you go through this map, you'll see these yellow and red icons. These are the harvest beasts. You are just going to kill them, and Einhart is going to capture them for you. That is all you have to do. So just run through, kill all the ones you can. They should be very easy because they're lower level. At higher tiers, they can get relatively annoying to deal with. Now you can see there's some red ones. These are harder, but generally the better beasts you want to capture. That's why we take the nodes on the Atlas tree to make it so more red beasts appear more often. Now, when you run into the Sacred Grove, the icon looks like this little blue icon you can see on my minimap. You're going to go in and very simply, you are just going to look at the paired off plants. They always pair off in 2s. This is a great one because I got an extra harvest, so we have 5 sets of 2 to work with. When you pick one of the paired off ones, the other one most likely is going to disappear. We have a 10% chance it won't wilt because of an Atlas passive. The Atlas tree passive making it so sometimes the other plants don't wilt. But you always want to pick usually the one that has the higher blue number. This one doesn't have a blue number. This one's garbage. If neither of them had a blue number, I would usually skip it and wouldn't even do it because it's kind of a waste of time because you are not guaranteed they'll drop any life force. The blue monsters have a guaranteed chance to drop life force. So this one's clear. Purple has 1 blue monster. We're going to do this one. Just click the button twice. It's going to spawn some monsters. You're going to kill them. And then the monsters are going to drop some life force for you. Pick it up and move on to the next one. This one is yellow one. This one has a 2. This one has a 1. No brainer. We're going to do the 2 blue over the 1 blue. You're going to kill him. You're going to kill them, you're going to pick up the life force, and you're just going to keep moving on. Now, sometimes there will be an orange monster that is a boss. I actually am not 100% sure if they can spawn in this tier of map. Not really sure. It wouldn't surprise me if they can't spawn, so you might not have to worry about it. No blues, I'm just going to skip that. You can run them if you want. They can still drop life force, it's just not guaranteed. So another blue one, and so forth, and that's all you have to do. Alright, so I finished the harvest. I ended up with 400 yellow and 69 nice purple. And checking it using Awakened POE trade, you'll see 23 chaos and about 4 chaos respectively. Again, you do not need to force harvest if you want to save 12 chaos. It just isn't guaranteed to appear every time. But you can go into the nodes to raise the chances of it appearing if you want to save those 12 chaos, but I think it is worth it to force the harvest. That is basically how you do harvest. Very simple, very easy. Kinda not the fastest mechanic, but still very profitable, especially in this league and especially at this point in the league where a lot of people are using the Horde crafting bench to craft items and to gamble divination cards. Now, with the essences, this is how you're going to do it. You will see them entrapped and enclosed in a crystal prison like this. Now, you can corrupt any non-corrupted essence by taking a remnant of corruption, right-clicking it, and clicking on it. Now, you do not want to do this to all of them. The only ones, especially in the beginning, when you don't have that many remnants of corruption you want to do this to, are determined by following the meds method, which is MEDS, which means the purple ones. If there is an essence that is purple, you are going to want to use a remnant of corruption on it. That is the misery, the envy, the dread, and the scorn. Now, this one just has 2 wailing essence of contempt. That's absolutely garbage. You would never want to use a remnant of corruption on this, but you still want to do it anyway. Knock him out of the prison, kill him, pick up the essences, and you are good to go. That's really the beginner strategy. There are sometimes when you have a lot of remnants of corruption, there are other ones you want to do. Usually if it has, say, 4 to 5 shrieking essences, you know, you have a chance of upgrading them to deafening. So no matter what color they are or what essences they are, you want to use that. But in the beginning, I think a good hard and fast rule is just misery, envy, dread, and scorn. They are purple. You are going to want to upgrade them. Make sure they are purple. The blue ones and a couple, or one of the other colors, I think it's blue, looks very similar to purple. You can get kind of mixed up, so remember, if it's not misery, envy, dread, or scorn, don't worry about it. For the essences, you can upgrade them 3 to 1. You can either do this by selling them to a merchant. You can just take them out, have any merchant in your hideout, sell them, and she will give you 2 of the upgraded and the 2 left over, because remember, it's 3 to 1. It's only 6. Or if you have the essence tab, it does come with this cool little upgrade button. You can click it and just click through them. Now, there are some essences that fluctuate to where the shrieking is actually worth more if you keep them shrieking and not upgrade them into deafening. So if you want to play it safe, just upgrade all of them into either shrieking or deafening, which is these 2 right, columns right here. Now, when you upgrade the meds, misery, envy, dread, and scorn, they have a chance of upgrading into one of these 4. That's why you do it, and these are worth quite a bit. I don't have one right now. I don't know the price, but they're usually in between 25 to 40 chaos per one of these. But only these purple ones, envy, misery, dread, scorn, they can only upgrade into these. That's why you only corrupt the ones that have those in it, at least in the beginning. The essence, or the life force, you can literally just save up until you have a certain amount and then sell them for a divine. That is what I suggest. Or even saving up enough, you can sell for a couple divine. Right now, let's see if I want to sell yellow essence. This is worth almost 3 divine. And it looks like they're going 1 for 3,000, which is absolutely crazy. So this strategy is incredibly profitable right now. But I would usually just put this at like 1 for 2,900. It will sell perfectly fine. You do not need to be the top on this list. If you can wait longer than 10 minutes, if that, then I would put it a little bit more competitively. I would not put it for 1 divine for 3,100. That is a ripoff near the top. Just don't do that. For the essences, when you want to sell them, there are 2 main ways that people usually do it. You can either sell them 1 by 1, or saving up until maybe you have enough for a divine with one of these. But I should probably put the tab to public if I was going to do that. You can just, any ones that you have multiple of, you can just say, I want, 3 chaos for these 2 essences. That is how you do that. Whatever you want is on the outside of the slash. So 3 chaos for 2. That's how you would do that. or you can use the TFT bulk selling tool paired with the actual TFT Discord to sell them. If you go to bulk.tfttrove or tftrove.com, you can link your account. It'll automatically read your tabs. Then you can select which tab your essences are in. You can click either all your essences or the high essences, which is what I suggest, because that is the deafening and the shrieking and, you know, the other ones down here. So it's just these two columns minus the remnant of corruption. If you do it this way, do not sell all your remnant of corruption. It does not count that towards the high essences or the normal essences. Well, it might count it towards all the essences. I'm not sure, but I suggest just doing high essence and upgrading your stuff to shrieking and deafening when you can. So click high essence. You can put, I usually keep it at 100% of ninja price. If you look on the TFT Discord where these sell, if you're noticing people, a lot of them put 70 or 80% ninja asking price, that means selling for 100, you're losing out on money. You can lower this down a little bit. But you select the tab your essences are in, you click high essence, select the amount, and you click select tab. That is going to tell you how much it's worth. I've not been farming essences this league. I've been doing other stuff, but you can see it's only worth 87 chaos when I do that. But you can still put your name right here and what your in-game name is. This one is Safe on Talk Ranger. And you can click generate image. You can go over to the Forbidden Trove. You can go to bulk essences want to sell. It's down here in Affliction bulk want to sell. You can copy and paste the image, and then you can generate text, and you can post that in there, and it will do everything for you. You can hit enter, and usually very, very quickly, someone will whisper you in game and just say want to buy the essences. Those are the two main ways to sell essences. For the beasts that you capture, when you start doing Einhar in the campaign, you unlock the menagerie, this icon right here, go to a waypoint and you come here. That is where Einhar resides. How Einhar works is once you capture enough beasts, you get recipes. When you fill these in, you can do certain things like, oh, get a stack of 2 orbs of binding. Now, the rare monsters that are worth a lot give you much better things to do. You know, add aspect to the spider skill to an item, things like that, from a gilded scarab to a winged scarab, a bunch of cool things like that. But we're mostly going to be selling them. What you do is Einhar is going to sell you these things called Beastiary Orbs. You want to get a couple of those. When you go and click on him, you can click View Beastiary, and he is going to show you your captured beasts. You can, you know, read up on what you have, crustaceans you've found before, but you want to go to captured beasts. These are the ones that you've captured. Now, to find out which ones are worth it, you are going to want to go to POE.ninja, and if you go down, you can see there is a beast section right here. Click on that. It's going to tell you the worth, sorted by value of everything. So when you start finding some beasts, you can just Control F and search for certain things, or you can just simply kind of scroll through the top and, you know, see if you're really hurting for money, you could sell the 4s and 5s. I probably wouldn't sell them unless they are 10 or higher. So these are the ones you're really worried about. So you can see the Chimeral is worth 4.8 div, the Vid Vulture 4.3. Wild Hellion 3.5. That is very freaking high. That's because a lot of people are not doing this farm. So we could take great advantage of that. All you do is you right click on the Beastiary Orb when you want to capture something. Click on him. He's right there. And you can sell this how you want. Or you can even price check if you want. This guy's garbage. I can just right click it and put him back into the Beastiary. And that is basically it, guys. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. I tried to do it very efficiently as I could. But that is basically the strategy. Also, what I didn't go over because I couldn't see one was that because we are taking this, if you see a trial and it says offers an improved offering to the goddess on the portal will have a gold aura, and when you hover over it, it'll tell you it's improved. Run those, do the thing, get the offering to the goddess, and sell those at the end. I think there's only 3 different types you can get. Usually one is worth much more than the other. I think it's gift to the goddess, but either way, that's a no-brainer. You've probably run the trials before if you're at the maps. You know what they're about. The improved ones are just a little bit harder and a little bit longer, but you can do it. I believe in you. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure and like and subscribe if you are not subscribed already, and leave a comment down below just about how your league's going, what builds you like, you know, just so I could catch up with what you guys are up to this league. If you're running the Magic Find strategy, that's fine. I am most of the time too. I'm not super embarrassed, but yeah, you can tell me about that too, and let me know any cool items that you've found. Also, make sure you get followed over on the Safe on Talk Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk, and also the Discord that is growing. There's a lot of cool people in there, and it's becoming more active, and we would love to have you in there. Of any skill level, beginning to expert, it doesn't matter. You got a quick question, that's fine too. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.